Welcome back to Boruto Anime Review. This is episode number 90. This is the 91st episode of the series, Ohnoki's Will. This episode is the definitive end to this arc, though next week's episode is the aftermath of this arc. Yes. This episode has Mitsuki versus Ku, in a brilliant battle. I got praised also for having show up Sage Jutsu. Though it's only on screen for a good 3 minutes, it seemed like for a couple of brief scenes, and he stopped because Ku unleashes this Earth Golem, cuts off his snakes, though I'm sure he's able to grow them back anyways, and that somehow cuts off a Sage Jutsu. Really? The snakes are a source of a Sage Jutsu? Okay. I like the fact he brought Ohnoki to this place, and he apparently was tired after running for a while. Now this I can kind of believe, while carrying an old man on your back as long as he did, as far as he did. Yeah, I don't think it's him making excuses. I think he's actually really exhausted from carrying him all this while. Because I'm sure he's probably going to rethink those things. And of course we have Ohnoki doing a heroic sacrifice, killing the villain, because gotta at least do something different. At least, well, he is kind of responsible for all this, so this is him atoning for basically causing all this mess in the first place. Yep. And of course, remember this thing about when they first met, him talking to Mitsuki, some lines, and of course they show the sacred spot where they have the shining of the stones thing. Also, they even show a flashback that was also, now the flashback they're showing in this particular episode, this has also been seen in Naruto Shippuden, where you have Ohnoki having a conversation with the first Tazakage. I know this is the first Tazakage because I know what the second one looked like. The second one was a mummy man. So this one cannot be the second one because Ohnoki was the third Tazakage. So, oh man, he kind of looks like Ohnoki. But this is the first Tazakage because, like I said, the second one was a mummy man. And no one knows where the heck it came from. Yep. And I know this guy was actually killed, I believe was in the first Great Ninja War, I think it was, when they had him die. Yeah. The whole thing of polishing the stone, and of course throwing it in the water and replacing it with different stone. Yeah, this is also, it's like they took this flashback from Naruto Shippuden, but it's very useful for this episode because they actually, believe it or not, actually sort of visit the same room. Okay. Okay. Anyways, you see the room briefly. My problem when they go to the sacred stone it's like you don't get a good look at it. It's like you see it for very briefly, don't get a good look at the room. I'm like, did the animators forget to make up animation cells for this particular room? Because all we got in this whole episode of the Tazakage mansion is we get 3 rooms, and partially it's in ruin, and yeah, and of course at the end we see Ohnoki where his granddaughter is grieving over him, which perfectly understandable because this is her grandfather. I like the fact that Ohnoki's more bodyguard is there. That makes perfect sense for him to be there, and of course Hiseki, which he was the only hidden stone shinobi who actually was not captured, and he was the one who was actually with Ohnoki. He was the only one actually with Ohnoki when he died. And of course Mitsuki gets his headband back, which is quite nice. And of course Team 40 and Team 15, basically Team Udon and Team Hanabi, go out to sort of see Boruto. They go out to help. And of course the reason why it took so long for Boruto to get there because he had to fight through bureaucracy. Tons of red tape, which is perfectly understandable because he wants to do something. He wants to help this village, and he has to cut through a ton of red tape in order to get there. Yeah, that's perfectly understandable of why that was written that way, because it's like that in real life. When some particular political leaders want to do something, they had to cut through a ton of red tape in order to do it. So it's perfectly understandable why that scene was written that way. And of course, seeing Shikamaru and Sai, which is quite nice, and Konohamaru, which I'm kind of like, where the heck have you been for the past couple episodes? Oh yeah, and apparently this episode didn't bother the show for some stupid reason. Didn't show that particular scene we've been wanting to see the whole entire time. When Konohamaru breaks out Karasuchi. Do we see that? Nope. Apparently, the animators forgot to do that as well. It's like they reference it in like 2 episodes and they do nothing with it. Oh, as a matter of fact, her and her troops fighting against the Akanu, yeah, that does not get enough screen time at all. It's like they just didn't care at all. It's like for these last few episodes, they just really want to end this arc so badly. Yeah. But it has a nice ending to it. I do appreciate that. Now, final thoughts on this stupid arc. I call it a stupid arc because originally this was announced as the Mitsuke arc and it was going to be a mini one. Roughly 5 or 6 episodes, not 21. I'm not sure what the heck Studio Parrot was thinking by having this arc drag on for 7 months. This makes no goddamn sense at all for them to do this. I mean, it had an okay start to it, and then we have to drag our feet for 10 episodes for like no reason at all. And I can easily do without at least 1 episode. And that was the episode when Boruto is unconscious for a whole episode and having a hallucination of Mitsuke in the village. You know, the good about the episode was Enojin meeting up with one of the Akanu, the mini baby Akanu, which this creature gets destroyed toward the end of the arc. And by the way, like right after Team 10 defeats that one particular member, they do nothing. Half the time, this team has done virtually nothing this whole arc, except for capture, participate in like 2 or 3 fights, and that's it. This team was practically wasted in this arc. I mean, it's great the fact that they actually have these characters appear here, but nope. Let's just have these characters do, half the time, do nothing. I mean, Boruto did a lot more than those guys did. He's the main character. Sadara did a good bunch, but everybody else, oh no. Let's have half the cast do very much nothing this whole arc. And also, I saw a reviewer point this out though when they arrive at the Hidden Stone Village, that apparently no one brought up the fact this group is not eaten in 3 days. Yeah, apparently I don't know if Studio Pair watched this guy's review. This is actually, I think this is Anime's Balls Deep. Yeah, it's him. I watch his reviews of this series, and I do kind of agree at some point. I do agree at some point this arc was just long and had terrible pacing half the time, and as far as I can tell, there has been no official reason why Studio Parrot dragged this arc up for so long. I mean, in the case of some other series where they have arcs for this long, at least there's a good reason for it. Maybe they want to bring some filler in the manga, but a lot of this stuff is basically original to the show, though it is canon, mind you. The only episodes adapted from a manga was the Sadara arc. That was it. Everything else was mostly original to the show, which is considered canon to the franchise. Though, according to Studio Parrot, and I think in Kishimoto, this whole arc is pretty much canon. I wouldn't be surprised if they have that 3-part Chocha arc, if they declare that not canon because how awful it was. Yeah, but at least that had better pacing to it. The problem with that particular arc was the writing. This arc, its biggest problem was the pacing. It was dreadful. It was a sloth to sit through this arc for the past 7 months. Yes. This arc should probably have ended roughly 2 months ago. 2, maybe 3 months ago. It should not have dragged this long at all. Hopefully the next arc, whenever they do the next arc, because next episode is the aftermath of this particular arc, I hope to God that we get a fresh start to this series, because I hope that we do not have an arc that stretches out this long without a reason, because there is no reason for this arc to be this long at all. And the term mini arc is 5. Anyways, yeah. So that's it for this particular review. Stay tuned for my comic corner to do later, okay? But to see you next review. Bye.